Hello everybody, Meurig here, and welcome to the channel. And welcome to the first video in an 8-part series of a Bucky O'Hare advanced normal Warpless tutorial. This tutorial is going to go over the advanced routing for Bucky O'Hare normal Warpless. During these cutscenes, you're going to want to be pressing and holding B and mashing A to skip through the text. And towards the end, when you see Bucky's face, you're going to want to be mashing start because we're going to be selecting the green planet. And welcome to Green Planet. A couple things before we start the tutorial. Kind of want to go over the overlay of the tutorial. Right above the gameplay footage, you will see a smaller, darker window that at least gives you the title of the room or area that we're in. In the top right side, you will see an input visualizer to give you a rough idea of the inputs required for certain sections. That is from KungFusedMike, and you can get yours, and I'll leave a link in the description below on where you can pick that up. Bottom right side, with like a darker purple screen, is just a text box area that allows me to leave important information on the screen about things that may require some interesting timing. First things first, Bucky has a variable height jump, so the longer you press and hold A, the higher he jumps. Also, Bucky has the ability to be able to mash his attack. You can only have 3 bullets on the screen at once, but if you're near the edge of the screen like here, you can mash as fast as you can. By pressing and holding the B button, you can charge a charged jump with Bucky, which is only useful in a couple sections in the speedrun. Start by holding right and shooting the frogs that come on screen. They only take 1 shot to kill. You're going to want to kill that turret up at the top and at the bottom. And here is it starting to get a little tight. You're going to want to let go of the right input for about a frame or 2 and then begin holding it again to manipulate the bullet to shoot backwards. And this section coming up is also extremely tight. You're going to want to shoot the turret at the top right before you fall off the ledge. You could do a drop shot, also known as shooting the frog before landing, but you want to take out the bottom turret, and if you miss the frog on the landing, you can shoot it when you jump back up. There is enough time for that possibility. Stutter step to manipulate this turret. Take a shot right when you're falling off this platform to kill the frog that's going to be in your way. Press jump and shot here at the same time to kill the frog and land on the platform above. And welcome to Tree Climb, one of the highest reset points in the speedrun. Luckily it's only in the beginning, but don't fall into the trap of resetting on a mediocre or bad climb. There's tons of time saves through the whole run. Just give it your best, because it is quite difficult to completely get a 100% clean climb, even for me, and you can see in the tutorial that I actually mess up as well. When you get experience with this climb, you'll start to notice that sometimes when you let go of jump to jump again, the camera's going to shift up a little bit higher than normal. This is what I call the perfect landing frame. Basically, the camera is shifting upwards because Bucky's put into a section of the jump or the landing hitbox of the branch that the game's like, nah, we ain't doing that. So it forces you up. But if you continue this, let go of jump and jump immediately afterwards, you'll notice that Bucky's able to make jumps that's just a little bit higher than normal, actually higher than your standard charged jump. This makes the second half of this climb extremely fast once you understand how it works and get the timing down. These first 3 jumps are relatively quick. They put you in a position to go between the shots that are spawned by the spider, as well as to duck underneath wasps that form or spawn in case they do. These 3 jumps are deceptively tight. Right after the sky turns completely black with stars, there is a section where there's 3 perfect landing frame jumps, a small jump to the left, and another 3 perfect frame jumps. That is the easiest to practice these jumps, but probably one of the hardest to master because the timing is relatively quick. But moving forward, this is a great place to practice your frame jumps. Last little tricky place before we go to the next room. There is a spider that explodes on the right side of the screen that spreads shots out. If you were able to get the jump quick enough, you can actually jump over top of the explosion from the spider. If you messed up the jump right before I paused this scene, you're going to want to wait till the shot shoots over top of your head and then continue up. And welcome to log rides. When starting log rides, make sure to jump off of this ledge so you can clear the frog down below. This first log jump is deceptively tricky. If you jump too late or too high, you can jump over the log and instead actually land on the branch, which is an insignificant time loss and you can continue your run. But if you jump short or too early, you can miss the log completely and die for a short screen death and a significant time loss. Through this section, just jump from branch to branch. The trick behind these rope swings is making sure that the one that you want to jump on from a branch is as far right as possible. So there is 2 sets of rope swings that you want to make sure that they're both as far right as possible before jumping, and then carefully jumping to the second one, because the second one doesn't spawn on screen and doesn't start its pattern until it's visibly seen. So if you jump too early, the rope swing might actually be impossible for you to reach. So wait till it's as far right as possible and then jump on the rope swing, and then you should be able to make it to the second one. If you timed your rope swing jumps properly, this very last rope swing you can just walk straight off of for a minor speed increase. Now this is where you need to make a decision. Either you're going to go top route or bottom route. If you've had a very clean run up until this point, I highly suggest, unless you're trying to grind for world record times and or at least the podium, I highly suggest doing the bottom route, because the bottom route is guaranteed as long as you do your jumps properly. However, if you've had like a mediocre climb and you've had a little bit of mess ups here and there, or you are super clean grinding for those end, world record times, podium times, then you're going to want to mess around with the top route. The top route is very dependent on a sub-pixel, and it's a pixel perfect jump that I will go over after we're finished with this area, but I'm going to show you the bottom route first. To make the landing to the bottom log, you want to walk off of the platform that we're standing on right now and ever so slightly let go of the right input and then start pushing right again. If you press and hold it, I believe it's makeable, but I think it's a frame perfect jump. So just be careful. You want to make sure you land and you're able to jump off the log. Up ahead, you're going to want to wait for the log to start falling down to land on. You don't have to duck with Bucky here. You can stand and shoot, but this is old muscle memory. At the peak of this jump, you're going to want to make a shot. I dubbed these, at least in this game for me, as a hero shot. Hero shots are known in Super Metroid as shots that you take after enemies that you can't see yet. But what we're doing is we are trying to shoot a frog that's currently off screen. We're dealing 1 point of damage to it because it actually takes 2 points of damage. And when we jump up to the platform that the frog is on, we're actually going to shoot the frog again to kill it. And now welcome to the top route tutorial. As I suggested before, this is a sub-pixel dependent, pixel perfect jump that quite a few people have looked into and haven't been able to find the reliable way to make sure that the sub-pixel is in the proper position where it needs to be. So there's a lot of speculation and a lot of hopes and prayers and duct tape to hold this trick together. But what I'm going to show you is what I do to equalize the chances for this top route to work. When I walk up to this log, I make sure that I walk onto it so that Bucky's foot that's in the background is barely on the log where he's mainly hanging off of the log. And now my first visual cue of the tutorial. There is going to be a coin that spawns the moment it comes on screen at the ledge that we're going to be jumping to. The moment I notice that coin comes on screen, I start walking right and I jump off the log, and that coin is the point of landing that I aim for. And this is the infamous top route jump. If you saw, I did a little hop before taking this jump here. It just equalizes a setup timing for me. And I read somewhere, or I watched in a video somewhere, that that's supposed to help with the setup. But I've seen people just walk instead of jump, so you don't have to do the little skip there. But the position where Bucky's at is 1 pixel away from the jump. The sub-pixel allows you to be in the position that you need to make this jump to that branch that's out in front. And if it's successful, you land on the branch and you continue through. If it's not, you fall through the branch in a section where it looks like you're supposed to land. Like I said, this trick is kind of dumb. And it's one of those only should be performed if you're looking for top times, because it saves, I think it saves somewhere between 4 and 6 seconds through the whole first area. So it's a significant time save, but if you're just getting into the run itself, this is not a trick that you really should be looking into quite yet. The waterfall section in Green Planet is the most freest of all screens, and I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but what I am going to do is overlay a couple things. That way you can pick up the tokens if you want to pick them all up. The first token would be a life token, the second one's a bonus token, the third one's a life token, and the last one is another bonus token. But I'm going to overlay some visual spots to look for if you want to pick up all the tokens. But I would suggest at least grabbing 1 life token. That way you can have full health by the end of the stage. The only bonus coin that I actually go out of my way to gather is the last one on the waterfall, because I use that as a cue for me that the bottom of the waterfall is coming. The moment I collect the bonus coin and I hear the audio cue that I collected it, I will keep an eye on the plants on the right side of the waterfall, and I'll count to 5. I'll count 5 of those plants. Right when I start seeing the 5th plant, I will start pressing and holding the right input so that Bucky cuts underneath the plant and will transition into the next room a little bit faster. The Toad Ship's stage or room is probably the most difficult section in the whole Green Planet to do perfectly. There is a little bit of timing that you have to do in the very beginning. And if you end up taking any sort of damage because you're moving right, and when you take damage moving right, it actually stuns Bucky, you're going to end up putting the ships off of the timing of this specific route that I took through the Toad ships. That little skip in the beginning of this room is required to keep the ships on their current cycle. You want to jump, then move forward to avoid the hitbox of the laser. You want to stop here and delay just a little bit to jump over the laser that shoots out of the top ship. And when you land on the top platform, you're going to walk forward and go underneath the bullets that come out of the second ship. Same process as before, jump over the laser to avoid the hitbox. And now the same move as last time, jumping over the laser and going underneath the bullets. The window of this is extremely tight. This is going to take some practice and feel before you're able to do this fully in a run consistently. I'm going to show this section one more time without stops and without cuts. That way you can see the full timing of the whole room. And meet Toadburg, the first boss of Bucky O'Hare. First thing you want to do when you enter the room is position yourself directly in front of him and underneath the meteor. That way you can't be killed instantly by the meteor. After he throws the monster meteor, you want to walk away from him just a little bit, and when he starts running towards you, jump over top of him and then start chasing him down. He's going to crash into the wall. And the only time that you can deal damage to him is after he hits the wall and you have to be shooting him in the back. You can get close enough here to mash to do more damage. If you are too far away, you will only get 3 shots on the screen at once. So for optimal damage, you want to get pretty close to him where all the bullets will keep coming out. After a couple seconds of crashing into the wall and you damaging him, he's going to turn around and sprint towards the other wall. You want to jump over him and also pursue him again, watching out for the shrapnel falling from the sky. And you want to get as close as you can again so you can do optimal damage. After a couple more seconds, he's going to turn and face you and kind of do this little walk towards you, a little hop and a skip, and then pull down another asteroid, and then he's going to begin his cycle again. If your mashing and damage is good enough, you can actually get him in 2 cycles pretty easily. Congratulations, you just speed ran the Green Planet of Bucky O'Hare. One thing more to note about the Green Planet, most speedrunners split on the high note of the fanfare, and I will pop some text on the screen when we normally split. One more thing to note before moving on to the cutscene section: if you happen to take damage during the boss fight, you will have just a hair bit of time loss in your next split because it takes a little bit of time to refill your health. And when I unpause the video, you'll hear what sounds like points being accumulated, but it's my health being refilled. Believe it or not, this cutscene section can actually be very tricky. Just so you're aware, there is 2 dialogue screens, 1 password screen, and then you're back to the planet select screen. We are pressing and holding the the B button to speed up the cutscene, and we're mashing A to get to the next screen of the cutscene. Once we get to the password screen, we're pressing start to get to the planet select screen, and then you need to be careful and select the blue planet. If you select the red planet, it is a reset because our next target, our next crew member that we're trying to unlock is Jenny. And Jenny is the most overpowered character in this game because her little damage orb that she does is amazing. So we need to be extremely careful. This is a high reset area because sometimes speedrunners are just a little too careless with our speedy inputs. And that's all I have for the Green Planet tutorial. Thank you everybody for watching and all your input. I want to give a special thanks to KungFusedMike for the input visualizer. I think it made a very big difference with this tutorial. I also want to give a special shout out to Junkyard Dave for basically being my mentor through learning Bucky, as well as giving me some input and a couple tidbits here and there for the tutorial. If you like this guide, please like, comment, subscribe for the 7 other videos that are to come. If I happen to miss anything in the guide, please don't be afraid to reach out and let me know. And if you have any questions about anything, don't be afraid to reach out to me. I will post my Discord in the description below, as well as the Bucky O'Hare Discord, Speedrun Discord as well. Thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.